Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm brewing the Cranberry Lime Lager that's going to be bright pink with the help of some beet juice. And this should hopefully, maybe, possibly be ready by Thanksgiving. I'm not sure. We'll see. We've got a fermentation ramp of 22 days and it's November 1st, so in theory, it could be done by Thanksgiving, but probably not. I might pull it early, actually. Okay, so I'm gonna do it in my claw hammer because we're doing a step mash, and this is gonna make it super easy to do. So a step mash, basically you just ramp up the temperature as you're mashing. So we're gonna start at 138 degrees Fahrenheit or 59 degrees Celsius, and then ramp up in around 20 minutes to 156 degrees Fahrenheit or 69 degrees Celsius. And then our last ramp, another about 20 minutes, is gonna be 168 degrees Fahrenheit and 75.5 degrees Celsius. So the 138, 156, or 59 and 69, we're gonna let them sit for 30 minutes at each of those. And then the 168, I'm just gonna let it sit for 10 minutes. The idea behind this is that you're basically gonna let all of the starches convert at this point because different enzymes work better at different temperatures. If you have a fully modified malt, typically you can just stick with the one temperature, so like 152-ish. And get most of your starches converted, but we're using an under-modified malt by Mecca grade, and it's called Gateway, and it's just a under-modified kind of Pilsner malt, and they said that it works best with a step mash, so that's what we're gonna do, just to test it out, because I haven't tried this malt before. So our water, so we're gonna use 7 gallons of just my tap water run through a pure filter, and it's gonna add 2 grams of calcium chloride to that. So I'm gonna get started on that so we can start heating. And I treated these with Camden tablets, so it'll get rid of any extra chlorine. I'm gonna just plug this guy in and then insulate it. So I'm gonna set this temperature at 138. Actually, I'm gonna set it at 143 to be safe, just because we're gonna lose some temperature when the 70-degree malt goes in there. So I'm gonna measure out my 2 grams of calcium chloride and just toss it in. There it is, perfect. So I'll see you guys back here when I measure my grain. So for malt, we're using 10 pounds or 4.5 kilograms of Mecca Grade's Gateway under-modified Pilsner malt. So that's why we're doing the step mash, and we're just gonna mill it like normal. You guys gotta look at how awesome this branding is though. Look how cool! I love this. This malt smells really different. It smells super sweet. All right, so I'm just gonna weigh it out. 10 pounds, 5.5 kilograms. And we're using 8 ounces or 227 grams of honey malt, just to give it a little more flavor. So I'm gonna just make sure my mill is where I want it. It was a little wide. I mill it pretty fine, like less than a credit card width. So this malt seems a little harder than our typical super modified malts, but it's milling just fine. We're just gonna hope we don't have to pour it out after. It's working much better now that it's got some weight on it. All right, I'm gonna open this up a little bit because it seems like, because this is so much harder, it's having a rough time. So it's about at credit card width now. All right, that's working. So we're just gonna do a little bit at a time. so I don't have to undo it. Okay, so you're gonna wanna set your mill at a wider gap, say like a platinum credit card, and then run it through again smaller. So that was a chore. And I would just do this for any under modified malt. All right, so we are about halfway to our mash temp, so we'll just wait it out. Okay, so we're a little over 143, but that's okay. It'll drop during the time. I'm going to turn down my heat down to 138 and mash in. I've got my screen in here. So I'm just gonna stir this, get rid of all the clumps that are in here, drop the temp a bit. I'm really only stirring it this much to try to get the temp down a bit. Okay, so I'm going to turn my pump back on, set a timer for 30 minutes, let this sit at the low end, so 138 or 59 degrees Celsius. And then I'm gonna ramp it up to 156 or 69 degrees Celsius. And then after 30 minutes, ramp that up to 168 or 75.5 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. Okay, so it's been half an hour, so I'm just gonna ramp up my temperature to 156, 69 degrees Celsius. Okay, so our 156 mash is over. We are going to move on to our 168 or 75.5 degree for 10 minutes with about a, who knows how long ramp time. Okay, so our mash is done. All right, so as per the usual, gotta lift it out. Should probably wear gloves. All right, so I'm gonna turn my heat up to boil and just let that drain. Okay, so we're at our boil. I pulled a sample a little earlier. This is going to be our pre-boil gravity sample. See how that step mash did with the under-modified malt. Okay, so we got 11.6 as our bricks. We're looking for 1.046 and we're at 1.048. So we're doing great. So our boil size was supposed to be 6.5 gallons. We're at about 6.25, but I'm gonna call that a success. Awesome for step mashing. So easy to do. I might just keep doing it because it seems like it really modifies. It seems like it really extracts all the sugars from the malt. All right, so I'll meet you guys back here in, actually let's go ahead and measure our hops while we're here. All right, so we're gonna do 0.75 ounces of Centennial or 21.3 grams. Oh, that's way too many. I'm used to making IPAs, obviously. All right. All right, so there's our Centennial, and I'll see you guys in half an hour. All right, so it's time for our first hop addition and only hop addition, our 3/4 ounce of Centennial, which translates to 21.3 grams of Centennial. All right, so I'm gonna set a timer for half an hour, and then we're gonna stop our boil and just seal it up to chill. Okay, so we're down to right about 5.5 gallons. I'm gonna pull my hops, and then I'm just gonna seal this up so that it can do a no chill chill. All right, first though, I'm gonna run some boiling wort through the pump just so that this doesn't contaminate it in the end. Turning off my heat, turning off the whole shebang. And I'm gonna go grab some saran wrap just to wrap this lid. I'm gonna take off the insulation so that it can actually cool down. Hopefully we have a cold night so it can get chilly in here. Alrighty, so I love doing this with cling wrap. It just like vacuum forms onto the kettle. Alright, so that's gonna keep anything out of it while it cools down. You know, you don't want anything from the air getting in there, even though it is a pretty tight fitting lid. All right, so I'll see you guys tomorrow when we do the yeast and fruit pitch. Okay, so since we're doing a no-chill, we have time the night before to process all our fruit. So I've got 8 limes, I've got my 2 beets, I got 3 pounds of cranberries, and I'm just gonna juice them with my good old Jack LaLanne and then throw them in here with a Camden tablet. I'm gonna go ahead and just cut this into pieces. This is my last resort. All right, juicer's working. I'm just gonna toss these cranberries in first. I'm gonna juice the limes with my good old lime juicer. And I'm not gonna do zest, I don't care. But I will do both of these beets. So these cranberries have all been in the freezer, so they should be like really easy to juice. It breaks down the cell walls when you put them in the freezer. Fun fact, I used to be a manager at a juice shop long ago. I am really good at juicing shit. Okay, so that should give us a very red beer. All right, so I'm throwing this in with the Camden tablet. And then I'm just gonna juice these limes into it. So I just did like 8 normal sized limes, whatever. This is actually gonna be a decent amount of lime juice. I always suggest using fresh limes because whatever preservative they put in with the like lime juice that you can buy pre-packaged in the store, it's disgusting. It tastes like soap. And I really suggest getting one of these guys. They're cheap and it's so easy. I like travel with these. They're so great. All right, so you've got to seal these up. So the whole idea behind putting a Camden tablet in it is that it's going to create sulfur dioxide, which will kill any bacteria or anything that's in here. And this is 100% going to stain this Tupperware. So I'm going to stick this in my fridge and then I'll put it in tomorrow when I pitch my yeast. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, so the wort is down to around 100 degrees. So I'm gonna go ahead and transfer it into here and get the glycol running on it to get it down to 50. I'm just gonna throw my beet cranberry lime juice in here. It's not gonna denature it in any way being 100 degrees. And this fermenter's been sanitized to hell and back. So I'm just gonna sanitize this hose. Ooh, and try not to drip it. All right, and I'm just gonna turn on my pump so that we can get it going a little faster. I'm gonna take a pre-boil gravity reading. I'm gonna show you guys how cool this looks. Awesome. So I'm gonna seal this guy up. So this gas hose is going to be my airlock. I'm just gonna sanitize it and connect it. Once it cools, it's gonna pull in some air. So, you know, you don't wanna concave your fermenter. So I'm just gonna attach this and leave it open. This is my thermometer. I'm gonna just stick it right in there. And I like to plug it with just a little stopper to keep the temperature in there a little better so it's not exposed to external. Look how red that is. So for our original gravity, we wanted 1.05. So let's see what we got. We've got 14.8 bricks. Oh, I said that wrong. We've got 12.8 bricks. All right, so we hit 1.053. So with the cranberries, that's like not crazy. They've got some sugar on them and the beets as well. So I'm gonna cool this down to 50 degrees and then I'm gonna pitch my yeast probably tonight. I will see you guys then. All right, so I've got my Saf Lager 23 here and I'm just gonna go ahead and pitch it right in. This is now 50 degrees. All right, now I'm just gonna seal it up. And put my airlock into some water and let it sit for a long time. Thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe. If you guys want all my videos early, ad-free videos, monthly happy hour, and merch, go ahead and join the Patreon link above, and I'll see you guys next time. I want to thank my newest channel member, Tony C. Thanks so much for your support. So we're gonna start at 58 degree. So we're gonna, these both print. All right, so I'm gonna